This is Scott Mills. It's almost 4:45 already. Look at that. Benny Benassi is playing next with Cinema, a tune we've been playing quite a lot on Friday night. I'm ready for the weekend. You can watch us now on the live cams if you go to the Radio 1 website, bbc.co.uk/Radio 1. If you can get to a computer, then do it, because you'll want to see this next bit. Go to the live webcam, bbc.co.uk/Radio 1. Dynamo is here. Hello.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, so many of our listeners have been on, very excited that you are gracing us with your presence today, Dynamo. Liz is from West Sussex, and her husband just rewinds your tricks all the time. So like, he'll watch it and go, again, watch it, again. Dynamo is amazing, and I love him because he makes me shout at the TV. And like, there's on your show, there's a thing where you are in a jeweller's, right?
Yeah.
And you literally say to somebody, pick a ring out of, whichever one you want out of there, and then your hand goes through the glass, picks up the ring, and then your hand comes out of the glass again, but then there's no marks.
Yeah. That's what happened. But obviously, I only use my powers for good.
Right.
I don't really steal things.
No, of course. No, I'm not suggesting you're a thief, Dynamo. I'm just saying, well, obviously you're not going to tell me how you do that, but that's pretty incredible.
Thank you.
And people are just blown away by what you do. You've been doing this for a while, though, right?
I've been doing it since I was 11 years old.
Right. And how did that start?
My grandpa got me into it. I was getting a bit of bother from some guys at school, and he showed me some techniques to take away their strength.
Right.
Which I've used, up until this day. I did it with David Hay recently in one of his shows. I didn't take his strength away for the fight. That wasn't all to do with me. But, yeah, and at the time, I'd do these things in the playground to get myself out of trouble.
So what would you do?
I'd basically stare at them and literally take away all their strength. So, they used to pick me up, put me in a wheelie bin, throw me down a hill at the school.
Right.
But I could take away the strength so they couldn't pick me up. So that way I didn't have to get put in the bin and get thrown down the hill.
So it's like you've got superpowers.
I guess you could say that.
You're like Superman or something.
Yeah, I prefer Dynamo.
Oh yeah, obviously, Dynamo, man. But you took away their strength in what way? Were they powerless?
Pretty much.
So they couldn't pick you up and they couldn't put you in the wheelie bin anymore?
No, and they actually became a little bit scared of me.
That's brilliant. That's so good.
Just by looking at them.
Yeah.
So you just stared them out?
Pretty much.
Love this. And how did that progress from, obviously, from the playground, and then in your life as you left school? What happened then?
So after doing that, kind of word spread around the playground and around the area. But
you were the man.
Pretty much. They were kind of scared of me, and there was these little stories going around. So me and my grandpa kind of developed it into a show, and then people wanted to come and see me perform, and I kind of created what is now, the style of magic that I do.
Yeah. And
then I approached the Prince's Trust, which I've just been recently made an ambassador, which is quite an honour. I think you're an ambassador as well, right?
Yeah.
And originally, I had to walk in a room, perform magic to a group of people, almost like Dragon's Den style, close with X Factor.
Yeah.
Basically be judged, and then hopefully they give me a business startup loan. Thankfully I was successful. Prince Charles gave me some money, I bought a camcorder and a laptop, started filming my adventures, and as I say, the rest is history.
Well, yeah, because it went mad on YouTube.
Gone crazy on YouTube.
And now you've got loads of Twitter followers.
Quite a few, yeah. If you want to follow me, at Dynamo Magician.
There we are. And a TV show now.
Yeah, Magician Impossible. It's quite nuts. The cameras are in here today.
Yeah.
And this will probably be on the show.
Yeah. How do you feel about the cameras following you around? It must be, obviously you filmed yourself before for YouTube. This might be quite a different experience.
The cameras are a lot bigger than the little tiny camera that I bought.
Do you feel like Peter Andre a bit?
I think we've got quite a lot of similarities. He's good looking, and
same.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, before we get onto this, I need to let you know that obviously the box was delivered on Monday. This kind of safety deposit box, which I will show the camera now. So if you're watching on your computer, this is the safety deposit box that Dynamo handed to me on Monday at Radio 1, and we were told not to tamper with it, not to open it, and obviously, not to see what's inside. So this is the box. It's a standard kind of cash box, safety deposit box, and that was all we were told, wasn't it?
And not to lose it.
Oh, not to lose it.
That was the main thing.
To be honest, like I said earlier, it's a good job you came in today, because I wouldn't have made it till Friday. I would have lost it.
I'm quite proud of you. You've still got it there. It's still sealed.
Thanks very much, yeah. And it is sealed, as you can see, and I promise you we haven't tampered with it.
Yeah, and inside, it's just a gift for you. Yeah?
A gift?
So it's not important just yet.
Right.
So we're going to come back to it. But what I asked you to do, though, today was, as well as the box, I asked you to bring in a selection of today's newspapers.
Yes.
Which I can see is a big stack there.
Yeah, there is.
So can you just put the box down to the side, but obviously don't let it out of your sight, and just pick one of the newspapers.
Anyone?
Yep, just grab one.
All right.
So which one have you got?
I've got the Metro.
The Metro. So that's one of today's paper, right? All the papers are from today.
Let's check. That is Wednesday, July 20th, 2011, yes.
Awesome.
All right.
So a lot of times in the newspapers there's a lot of bad stories,
Right.
I want you to have a look through and find a positive story. Yeah?
Okay.
Something that's good that you can read out on the radio. Now, it might take you a few minutes. And in fact, if you're listening at home and you've got a copy of the Metro at hand, if you want to go through and find, a good story as well, then, get involved, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
So maybe you might want to play a song whilst...
If I play a song here...
Yeah, if you play a song and while you search and find a story and then have a read of it and familiarise yourself with it.
To be honest, at the moment, I might have to go a few pages before I find the good news.
There's normally a pet or something on the second page.
Okay, well, I'll have a look through. We'll play Benny Benassi, and make sure you keep watching us on the website, on the live cam, bbc.co.uk/Radio 1. I have absolutely no idea what this has got to do with the box or anything, but I'm sure it'll all become clear, won't it, Dynamo?
It will.
All right, then. This is Radio 1. Cameras are back on at bbc.co.uk/Radio 1. This is Scott Mills, and Dynamo is here. Hi.
Hi.
Right, so you run me through what you want me to do again.
So before the song, I asked you to pick a newspaper out of a big pile of today's newspapers you've got in the studio, and then I asked you to find a good news story from that paper. You picked the Metro, and you've got a story ready. You've got a page.
I have.
Awesome. So in a minute, I'm going to ask you to read the story out loud. Yeah,
okay.
or just, might not read all of it. The
kind of gist of it.
Yeah, the gist of the story in the page.
Okay.
And give people an impression of what the page is that you chose.
Yeah.
Right? And also, if at home, when you read the story out, if anything weird happens, which sometimes happens when I do things like this, if you have a weird coincidence, I do want you to call in and let us know, what happened.
Yeah, you can text 81199.
Yeah, perfect. Text 81199. And so, Scott, you picked a story. Yep. Do you want to read it out?
Okay. It's about a record-breaking mountaineer called Kenton Cool, and it's just a story about why Britain should show off to the world. He became the first and only Briton to scale Everest 3 times. He's now the only European to conquer the world's highest peak 8 times, and it's just a nice story about him and the Olympics, really. It's just quite a nice kind of feel-good story. Just not brilliant, but...
And what's the headline of the story?
The headline is, we've a lot to be proud of.
So I think we have a lot to be proud of, Everyone's very happy that we've got the 2012 Olympics.
Yeah, so that's the kind of story you wanted.
Story. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Now, would you agree, or wouldn't you agree, that it would be impossible for somebody to know before today that you would read that story out on air?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because I've actually got to head back up to Bradford very soon, so I won't be able to stick around for the whole interview. But I did say I want to leave you a gift before I go, which is right here. I'm going to leave that with you.
Right.
And, it's been awesome coming on the show.
Thanks
for having me.
Thanks, Dynamo.
I hope you enjoy the gift.
And he's off.
Wow. Open it.
All right. So.
Do we have to wait for him to leave? I'm just going to open it. Open it now.
We're allowed to open it now? Okay.
Yeah, do it.
Oh, hang on, this is going to take a while. There's quite a lot of tape to get off. Hang on. Hopefully you can see the box on the webcams. I need to get the tape off where I open it. Hang on. Okay. So now we find out what's in the box.
Do you want some scissors? No, you've got most of the tape off.
Yeah, I've got most of it off now, I think.
Oh, right. I was going to say there's some scissors on the side. Maybe I should have given them to you before.
Yeah, thanks. Bear with me, everybody. This is Radio 1. Okay, let's open the box. Oh, I'm scared of opening it. Hang on. Is this the right key? Help!
I've got a spare key if you want it.
Hang on, I don't think I'm doing this right. Yay, I'm in! Okay. Envelope inside. What's this? Okay. So it is a drawing of exactly the same page of the Metro that I just
Let's have a look.
picked out. Let me show this to the camera now.
Oh my God, he's drawn the man and everything.
Actually drawn the man. There's a
in the red, he's got a red top on in the picture and he's drawn it in a red.
Yeah, and the headline is we've a lot to be proud of. London 2012.
And the bottom picture's the same as well.
Torch relay. How did that happen? How did that happen? And even like there's kind of like little stories underneath about it says an inspiring pair, and then he's put inspire and various words that are on the original paper. Right, so let me show those to the cameras. If you're watching this,
so he knew you were going to pick the Metro because the Metro's
written on there. There's just a pile of papers there. How can you do that? That's really freaked me out. There we are. So there's the original. If you're watching on the webcam, we'll put this on Facebook as well, so you can see it if you can't get to the computer right now. But that is freaky. What do you think?
I'm just pulling that face like off of fish. You know, with your mouth wide open.
I don't actually know what to say. I can't get my head around that at all. I've actually just drawn the same page that I picked randomly from today's Metro. But we've had that box.
Well, the paper was only printed today.
Well, we've had the box since Monday. Okay, good. Let's play a song and let me just try and get my head around this.